Welcome back to
The
the
Dickinson
Dickinson Adventures. Today we want to talk about a serious topic. Most of y'all know me and Robbie always laughing, and we laugh about everything. We laugh to stop from crying, laugh to stop from fighting. We just laugh off a lot of things. That's just how we deal with this crazy life over here. So today we're going to be a little bit more serious and talk about a subject that is very important. We're going to talk about our stance on it before we went to Tanzania and after we went to Tanzania. So that subject is my spouse will not leave America. And we're just saying it like that because
you laughing and you said this is going to be serious.
We are trying to be serious. But the reason why we're saying this is because we've seen that other couples have this problem where one may want to stay in America and one may want to leave. And we also experience some things like that ourselves between the two of us. So we want to talk about it and we just want to be transparent about it. That's why today we have no notes because we really just want to speak from the heart and just be really honest about how we feel. Okay? So we're going to talk about how we felt before we went to Tanzania. Okay?
Well, me, before we went to Tanzania, I was wondering why we were going anywhere right now with what's going on with the world. I was wondering with life, with jobs, and with trying to keep the status quo up and trying to do what we need to do to survive and take care of our farm and our animals. I was like, a month? I don't want to do that side. So I was at the point where we talked about it a lot and she kept pushing, wanting to go. And I was just like, if the opportunity presents itself and we have what we need to go, then we'll go. All the time, pretty much a little bit doubting maybe that it wouldn't happen right away, but it did. So that was how it was before we left.
Before we left, I felt like we really just have to get out. Like we really just need to leave America. It has shown us how it's felt about us for the last hundreds and hundreds of years. Like they don't care about us. We're always it's always our fault. Everything is our fault. If y'all just pull yourself up by the bootstrap, if y'all just stop resisting, and if y'all just do what they say, then you wouldn't get shot and killed. Like I was just tired of it, tired of hearing all of it. I felt like I didn't want to be around anybody who did not look like me. I felt like, hey, we need to figure out how to get away from this situation. I felt like if we don't get away from this situation right now, then we're going to be at a point where we can't do anything. And that's just how I felt. I felt like if you want to stay in America with everything that's going on, you have the same mindset as a slave. Back in slavery days, they would say, why would we leave here when we have food? Why would we leave here when we have this house out in master's backyard? You know, things like that. And
Huey P. Newton said.
Yeah, and even Harriet Tubman said she could have saved a lot more slaves if they knew that they were slaves, you know. So that's just how I felt about the situation before we went. Like we have to do it now. So that's how I convinced Robbie. I was looking up a lot of research and I was looking up, okay, so how do we meet each other like halfway with this thing? Like what's the compromise? Because every relationship is a compromise. Not just marriage, even friendships. It's a compromise. So I'm just trying to figure out, okay, how can we do it? And I did find one video, they lightly talked about the topic on Dinah's Demir channel, and it was the real South African couple. They were talking about Basically you just get your spouse to visit. So that is how that's how I got Robbie to see Africa, to just kind of experience it. Now, mind you, I've never been anywhere outside of America. So I'm trying to show him something that I've never seen ever. Um, so I think that's very important to note that too. Like I had that mindset, even though I've never been to this place, I didn't know anything about it or anything.
Well, my tips for you, even though I was the one on the lesser end, like she said, one thing is to plan shorter trips. Plan a trip and not just a whole month going. Sometimes you got to go for at least a little bit less. Just compromise with each other, make it work. If your husband doesn't want to go and he's a fisher, go somewhere where he can fish. They like to go to exotic places. I always dreamed about doing this. Go to that place. I go somewhere where there's activities that you know they will enjoy, so that hey, you get them to go and you get what you need done out of that. And I would say my last tip would be to just, like I say, just take your time with it. Make sure that you know what's going on. Make sure you give them enough time. Don't pressure them too much. Like just push on them, push on them, push on them. But leave little notes. I always bring it up every now and then. Talk about your next big trip. You know, make that the family trip. And just, like I say, compromise and just, y'all can work it out. It'll work out. It'll work out for us.
Yeah, so basically, I was ready to move and drop everything. Just literally, I was ready to sell our property. I was ready to sell whatever it took for us to get over there to Africa and have enough money, because everybody was saying, and a lot of people are saying that you should sell everything. You should get your loans, get all your stuff, you know, that you need, and just go. That was the mindset that I had. Like, we just need to go. It doesn't matter, whatever it takes, with the clothes on our back. Like, that's how I was thinking about doing it. Because like we said before, like we didn't have enough money to just be like, okay, well, we ain't got to sell nothing over here. We can have this here, and we can go over there and run our stuff over there, and have this stuff over here in America running remotely. Like, we didn't have that option. Yeah.
No, so I guess we talk about the afterwards.
Yeah.
After we went on our trip, I felt like I enjoy everything that we do after we finish paying for it. And once we get there, I feel good. You know, I feel like we've accomplished something. I know I need to work on that, you know, and just be more accepted, because, you know, we have a path to walk. God got us, so whatever we do is going to be excellent, and we always learn and grow every time we go and do something. So she always comes up with her idea, and I just work with her, and it's something that both of us can do, something that both of us enjoy, and we get along well. We work it out. Yeah, and the trip was it was a blessing to me. Even if we don't go exactly right back there, it lets me think about other places to visit and see where we can be at. Because if you know it or not, Black people are indigenous everywhere. So it's kind of hard to put us in a box, which we all know everyone came from Africa, but it's hard for us to stay in a box and know there's so many beautiful places out there for us to see, for us to even try to visit or live in it eventually in one of these days. But yeah, that's my take on us coming back.
I know once we came back and I just seen how things were operating over there, I realized that it's not as much of a rush or anxiety to just hurry up and just drop everything and go to a place I've never been before, because it can be extremely tough. It can be tougher than what we're experiencing here. And I guess people probably don't want to hear that, and it's probably a very unpopular opinion, but I'm not like he said, like God had us the whole time. I realized that it doesn't matter where I am, he still got me. Like he always gonna have my back. So, and I know that because I was all the way in Africa and some things were just nothing but the grace of God. Like it didn't even matter. Like I knew that for a fact. That's how we were able to go over there and come back and still have enough to go over there and come back and not get sick. Okay. Like go over there and come back and still have everything that we needed. Like it was really tough out there trying to do it for those 30 days. Like it just was, just being honest. But now I see that I can go anywhere. Now I see that it may be, it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is to just go to a place you've never gone before and that's your first time visiting and that's where you choose to stay. I would have been so pissed if we would have just went over there without visiting. And some people are doing this. They're just going over there. They're not visiting first. They're just risking it all. And they're not even getting the respect of just going over there to risk it all. Like, it still doesn't matter. Like, you're expected to throw all this money at your problems. Once you sacrifice everything, you still have to do more. It's not enough.
And that's everywhere. Like, all the repasts, I had a couple of repasts going to Mexico. They've been talking about one city in Mexico that was a good place for us to start off at, and then now everyone's going there and they're inflating their prices and things like that. It's not a good spot anymore. So we are all moving. We're all trying to find a place. Don't be upset and don't feel bad if Africa's not the first or the settling place for you. Everybody has their own spirit, their own mind, their own way of life, and that way of life may not be what you want. So just go out there, explore, find different places. Something's going to be able to fit you, even if you have to find you a little strip of land out of nowhere here. You know what I mean? Just find somewhere where you can fit in at.
Yeah. My overall take of the whole situation is no place is perfect. And in some ways, African Americans will never get any rest. We're always going to have a problem. Like, we're always going to have some issue. Somebody's always going to have a problem with us. Something's always going to be our fault when it's not. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And if anybody realized, like, we're even proof. Like, we were feeling like that here, and even over there, people are still saying, oh, that's y'all fault. Y'all's situation was y'all fault. It's the same thing we hear from white people over here. It's like, it looks different. So never feel like one place is just the ultimate answer to all of your problems. Like, that'll never happen. It'll never happen. And I will not lie, with that mentality, like everything is going to be perfect. It's going to be the best thing ever. Not saying that it wasn't. It was the best thing ever, but it wasn't perfect. And there's nothing wrong with admitting, hey, it wasn't perfect. And it's not your fault because it wasn't perfect. There are a lot of immigrants come to America and a lot of the crazy things happen to them. Are we going to say that it's their fault? Like, it's the undocumented immigrants' fault that they're going through what they're going through. Like, nobody talks to them like that. People only talk to us like that.
Whenever we go.
But we hope that this video helps you. If you have a spouse, hopefully you're not thinking about just leaving your spouse because of this. I hope that you all stay together, especially as Black people. We need to be in more relationships. We need to come together more because it takes both of us. It takes both sides. It takes both mindsets. Yes, you could do good by yourself, but we do best as a couple.
I like that.
Yeah, we do best as a couple. Before we left, like, honestly, like, in the back of my mind before I went to Africa, I was thinking, like, I would leave Robbie right here.
I would stay.
But then when we visited and we saw when we saw the lady get hit by the DJ, like, what if that was me? What if I was like, oh yeah, I'm leaving Robbie, I'm gonna be here with my kids, and what if I got hit? Who was gonna help me? So,
and I would have been on a plane to Africa.
Yeah.
in a lickety split.
So we definitely don't suggest that. Just talk it out and make sure that you all are compromising, like meet each other halfway. And we hope that you all will stay together.
Yeah.
Talk it out, love it out, like really make some really good decisions and make a realistic plan. Have your SMART goals and all that good stuff. That's something that we're working on because we want to be able to afford it. Like, so we want to make sure that we're doing all the necessary things this year to make sure we have our digital products, make sure that we have our marketing, our advertising, make sure that we're able to execute everything that we've been wanting to, but make sure that we find ways to monetize these things because we've been doing a lot of things for free, okay? Trying to get our name out there in the area that we're in. So we're hoping that, and that's why we started this channel, just to kind of reach a broader audience. We're trying to reach more people, trying to make more ways so that we can travel and have a great time and live a less stressful life.
So if you guys have any ideas, any thoughts on what we've been talking about, any extra advice that you can give, positive, please, drop it in the comments, drop it in inbox, whatever that is, it's down there at the bottom.
Just the comment section.
And if you guys have any topics that you want to hear us speak on or anything that you want to see more from us, let us know. Just let us know. We're willing to, let y'all know a little bit more about us. You see, we're honest, we're open, we're as real as it can come. We don't have.
I would just like to say, he said only if you have positive comments, but even if you have a negative comment, we still want to hear it because we believe in constructive criticism. So if you do have something to say, if we don't want to entertain it, we don't have to. Yeah. But make sure that you leave a comment. All of those comments matter.
Yeah, all comments matter. Likes and thumbs ups and subscribe, please.
Yes, and thank you for coming back to
the Dickinson Adventures.